いらっしゃいませ。お客様。
いらっしゃいませ。
So you happen upon Club Sunshine in Chapter 7, and you run into a guy named Yoda asking you to come in and check out the club and meet with some of his exquisite ladies. Well, you were told by Odyssey that there was a little bit of trouble in the Cabaret Club, so you had to check it out on your own. Do some investigation, because after all, like Odyssey, Club Sunshine may just be competition for Gran. So it's best that you do a little bit of infiltrating on the enemy, considering that Zagawa's not going to let you out of the Cabaret Club anytime soon. However, when you get in there, you do meet some of the best girls. Well, one of three. And they're tall and plain. Yuki, despite having some modicum of good looks, she's not all there in the head. She can be an absolute ditz. And yeah, Majima unfortunately realizes this and figures there's got to be more than just a small amount of girls in a completely empty cabaret club. Especially a girl who has very, very hard trouble talking to men. Well, there is more to this story, as a matter of fact. Remember when I said that there may be potential people that just may try to be competition for the Gran? Well, there are, as a matter of fact, 5 of them. As a matter of fact, they are pretty much running roughshod throughout the entirety of Sotenbari. And Club Sunshine is their next victim. While Yuki tells Majima this, Majima really can't process how in the world that the 5 stars actually got that power. Well, they got the power because the 5 of them were like the 5 billionaires from the real estate royale. They had enough money and enough backing to try to run out every single competition that stood in their way. And Yoda is the last line of defense, much like Kaminoy was in the real estate royale. This right here is going to be a pretty long one. So I'll try to be as in-depth as humanly possible. But as far as for the events concerned, there are in fact 5 people that are trying to pretty much dominate the scene in the Cabaret Club in Sotenbari. And those 5 people are none other than the 5 stars. Mars, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, and Moon. Ironically, they are pretty much based off of the Sailor Scouts from Sailor Moon. But, yes, each one of them are much more ruthless than the last. They're running really shady operations, and more importantly, despite their success, they are not the best people in the world to work for. This is what's trying to run Yoda out of town. And Majima's gonna have to step in to try to do something, because again, if the 5 stars of Cabaret succeed in what they're doing, again, they're gonna wipe out Odyssey and Gran, and then there'll literally be no one left. However, when you take a look at Yakuza Kiwami 2, you'll realize, yeah, unfortunately the roles would be reversed. But that's far and few in between. Right now, we're here in the Cabaret Czar. And our quest is to gather enough fans and gather enough funds to run the 5 stars out of town. And more importantly, free up the cabaret scene so where there's more competition, and where there's competition, there's money in the cabaret scene. After all, 5 people just can't have monopoly over the whole damn thing. It's just unheard of. This right here is probably going to be one of the things that's going to keep you the most invested in Yakuza 0. Hell, in pretty much every Yakuza game, save for Yakuza Like a Dragon, because there's another side quest that'll actually keep you more occupied there. And no, there isn't a Cabaret Club side quest in Like a Dragon, just in case you're wondering. It's probably one of the few games that breaks tradition. So, with that said, with the idle threats of Club Mars, there's only one thing that must be done. Majima must win. Because the last thing he needs is Sagawa threatening to pretty much get rid of him because he couldn't do a simple job of maintaining a club. And after all, Sagawa is the only way he could get back into the Yakuza anyway, considering the events of this story, which I won't delve into until we get to those parts. So with that said, it is time for us to prepare ourselves for quite possibly the most, I would say, expansive side story in the entirety of the game. Because believe you me, this right here is basically going to be the bread and butter for Yakuza 0. It is time for us to start the Cabaret Club Czar. However, before we start, there is one huge question for everyone who tends to jump in to Yakuza 0 and comes to this point. And that question is, which is asked by numerous amount of newbies online: why do Cabaret Club Czar in the first place? What does it get me? Well, here are the rewards. Lots of money for abilities, as well as Mr. Moneybags. Several videotapes from your salespeople that has to go towards Mr. Libido and also to Kiryu. 8 sub-stories to complete. The break limits on Thug, Slugger, and Breaker style. Acquiring the Mag Dog of Shimano style. CP for Majima, and a golden statue you could buy for 10 million for completing the Cabaret Club Czar. Now, 3 of those sub-stories you have to start Cabaret Club to have the hideout in order for to do them. The remaining 5, each one of those happen to belong to a hostess you will acquire as you go through Cabaret Club Czar. And by hostess, I mean platinum hostess you need to train. So let's get started on our first segment. Part 1. The basics of Cabaret Club Czar and starting Club Mars. Now, as far as the controls are concerned, these are the controls for the PlayStation consoles and the Xbox consoles that have the game. Also, Steam has the Xbox console too, so that's just in case nobody likes to pause. You might want to practice that, by the way, and I'll get to more of that later. Right now, we have only 3 hostesses, and all 3 of them equals to a barely balanced amount of the traits you need. And what are those traits? Well, as we go to Yuki, I can show you. They are, without a doubt, talk, party, love, and skill. And some customers will ask for talk, some will ask for love, some will ask for party, some will ask for skill, but more importantly, what I'm doing here with Yuki is something else they ask for. The looks. Either sexy, beauty, cute, or funny. Certain clubs demand certain clientele, and eventually certain clients will actually demand certain hostesses. Once you actually get them to a very high enough prominence, certain guests will specifically request Yuki or any of the platinums. And sometimes you'll be able to deliver, then again, sometimes you don't need to, and you can get somebody who's actually in the field of what they request. It all depends on, one, how much your club's reputation is, and two, the level of the hostess that you happen to have. The hostesses will only get stronger if they happen to work the night and actually take a customer. Sometimes certain hostesses may not take a customer if you have them on standby. Sometimes they do, so I'm just pointing that out there for people. Now, everything that I'm doing with Yuki here, I'm actually customizing her looks, because sometimes in Club Mars they will ask for certain types of girls as far as their looks are concerned, and you gotta customize to try to be equal, but you can't really be equal with all stats, as you just witnessed me trying to make Yuki look pretty and cute, but I can't make her smart, sexy, and funny at the same time unless I actually buy some stuff that would actually balance out the amount of stats I have. And unfortunately, that's not going to be the case in this matter. Yuki will be pretty much for emergencies, basically, and plus the fact that you have to start with Yuki at the beginning of the club. Well, first opening, that's what I'm trying to say. Now, pay attention also to the amount of cost that any of these girls have. Their combined cost is going to come out of what you make at the end of the night. So, by all means, pay attention to that. So, once you start the business, you'll be taking customers from the very starting position, which is Club Mars. Now, something that needs to be paid attention to is the type of customer that'll be coming your way. Aside from what he wants, pay attention to the type of customer that will be seated near you. They'll range from poor all the way to mega rich. Poor means you might not get much money from them, and depending on how good or how bad your hostess is to their clients, they might actually extend their session, then again, they might not. If they extend their session, your hostess will recover, plain and simple. And more importantly, that's more money for you. Now, there will be a point where you have a help, please. Don't be afraid to pause. Pausing helps, so that way you'll know what you're getting yourself into. Right now, this is a bad first start because customers are requesting love, and none of the hostesses we have starting off are good at love. You can actually help the host whenever they ask for trouble, whenever they have trouble. So yeah, like try to get over there. Go over to the host. Thank you. Press triangle. Never mind. So we basically had to switch hostess. But whenever they say check, please, just go on ahead and either thank them, apologize, or give them a gift. If you thank them, it's going to greatly improve the person. Now, if you apologize, it will also improve the guest, but it will make the hostess, how should I put it, pretty angry. Now, we couldn't really put anybody in due to lack of girls, because this is what happens when you first start. Now then, this guy wanted a funny girl, and unfortunately, we didn't give him one. So he's gonna be pissed off. So, whenever they say to check, try to give them a gift which will also increase the girl's mood and also heal up her HP. The more you put your girls in situations where the customer is definitely at a terrible disposition, the more their HP is. I mean, the lower their HP will get. Also, we got an average customer here. And hopefully we have enough for a fever so that way we can start healing up the HP of everybody. So we have trouble, so we're going to give him an apology gift to try to resolve the whole issue. So what we're going to do is also thank the customer here and keep them happy. Now the more you keep them happy, the more fans will come. You bring in Sunshine Fever, all the girls' HP will start to recover. And certain tables will start giving out money. Now, another thing you need to bear witness to. When certain girls ask for help and they start making hand signals, that is something you need to pay attention to. They haven't done it here yet, but there are certain girls who will have hand signals, like for instance, tipping their finger. Having their finger in an L position means that they need a customer glass. Having a pinch means they need a ladies glass. Tipping it means refilling the ice. Wringing their hands in a ring position means they need a towel. And opening their hands in a book position means they need a menu. And putting their hands in a bowl position means they need an ashtray. Keep those in mind because those are going to show up later. Good God, have mercy. Right now, Yuki Endo managed to make a whole lot of level, but the level only is because of the fact that they managed to make money. In the end, the amount of fans I had was abysmal, but it's gonna get higher a little bit later. We just gotta take steps. And those steps includes Part 2. Part 2, recruiting your entourage of hostesses. Yeah, that was a complete and total clusterfuck that happened earlier because we only had 3 hostesses. However, that could be fixed. If you did the scouting of Club Odyssey, which is by the way on Part 7 and Part 6, you will have 3 hostesses already ready for you. If not, you can find them on the street and you're going to have to purchase them items. Anyway, there are more hostesses you need to find here. These hostesses, at least 10 of them, you can exchange for CP. Although you're going to need 34 CP in order to buy all the hostesses for casting call. Yeah, that's going to not be hard if you happen to buy most of the hostesses with CP, because you'll actually get more CP afterwards. Then, there are the hostesses that are involved in side quests, including Dolly, which we happened to complete back in Part 60. This is the end result of completing the Doll Girl side quest. Dolly is actually a pretty decent hostess, so you might want to try to complete that side quest if you can, at least by the start of Chapter 8. So for the love of God, complete this side quest. She is definitely worth it, as she will... Oh my God! They almost set me up there. They almost set me straight the fuck up and I wasn't able to do anything about it. This is the second time they happened. By the way, Dolly's a gold hostess. Also, you get Emmy, who will end up being hilariously re-nicknamed to Iranda because of her horrible treatment of Eren-kun, who is now going to run around and give me stuff for my benefits, because I'm a very grateful person. So with that said, we're gonna have Iranda here doing all of our work. Thing is, she's also one of the best hostesses in the game, primarily because of her cuteness and on top of the fact that she's a talker. Definitely worth it in Club Venus. You definitely need some talkers there. But the thing is, you're now going to be renamed to Aranda. That's hilarious. That's very freaking hilarious. Majima did that to her. However, the main event is up next. Because, folks, we gotta hunt down some more hostesses. And, hot damn, she looks pretty good. Too bad most of these hostesses are silvers and bronzes, basically. But they are really good lookers. However, they will demand stuff. Aside from the three, one of which will demand leopard skin, the other one brand name watches, and the other name brand name purses. This one would only take an Italian watch. Or I think a French watch. No, she only takes high ends, actually. Oh no, she takes the Italian ring. I forgot. She takes the Italian ring. It's the other three that take. It's one of the other three that takes the Italian watch. My bad. Sorry. And this is supposed to be in depth. Damn it. But this is a bronze hostess, and by all means, the more hostess you have, the better. Next up, we have this hostess right here. This hostess, and wow, I love the camera panning. I really do. Okay, she may not be a looker, but everything below the neck, nice. Nice. Anyway, she'll ask for a wallet or a watch. It doesn't matter which. If you give her a watch, which I happen to have on hand, which is why I saved all those stuff from the beatings I leveled onto some of the shakedowns, because sometimes they will drop that. You can give them to these girls here. So we've just got a Kemi, and she will take a watch or a wallet. And she's a silver too. I don't know if she's good or not, but we'll find out. Here's an actual good one. All you have to do is talk to this pretty lady right here, and she's gonna ask for a scarf or a coat. Considering how she's dressed in the dead of winter, you are supposed to be wearing a scarf or a coat right around this time anyway. I mean, it is winter, and the way you're dressed, you're more than likely will catch a cold. So let's give her a designer scarf. A French designer scarf. So with that said, you'll get yourself Hiroko, which is a very good hostess, by the way. And next up, we have the last of the hostesses you find on the street that you have to buy. This one right here, I think she's a piece of work. She actually asked for a purse, if I'm not mistaken. She's the second one that does. The first one was one of the three you got from the Odyssey stakeout. So, with that said, make sure you have a purse on hand, so that way you'll be able to get her services. Oh wait, actually she prefers perfume. Never mind, I thought it was, no wait, perfume or a purse, that's what it was. She prefers perfume. Get her Italian perfume. Doesn't matter if it's Italian or French, actually. Just give her the perfume. She'll join your ranks. She's a bronze level. It's all well and good. But the main event again comes here. And that is the best hostess in the game. I'm not kidding. Believe it or not, the Obitarian is the best hostess in the game. Even though this Karen has given me so much trouble. It's not even funny. But her talk actually maxes out at level 5. So bear that in mind. If you want to go to Club Venus, Etsuko will dominate that place. and many other Hostess clubs too. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you all in the next episode of Cabaret Club Czar as we start focusing on Club Mars. This is RVN 95. Peace out.